their training to be so proficient in the ways that they were in the medical model
Mhm.
tweaked them as a person.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome, everybody, to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. I am so grateful to have you here as part of this next show. We are top 100 according to FeedSpot, top 100 spiritual podcasts, and also top 2% in the world. And we have a top 2% or above guest today. She is really amazing. She's worked with amazing people and done incredible work with people as a healer and more, I'm sure. We're going to learn all about it today. And we're also going to be talking about doubling your income or more. So we're going to talk about our business first, and we're going to talk about doubling that income. I'm going to do some energy scanning, intuitive business coaching a bit, and see what comes through. And you will learn from this. There'll be things you'll learn that I'm picking up for her that will also apply for some or all of you, perhaps even. So tune in deeply for the entire show. You're going to not want to miss it. So, Fawn, I'm so grateful to have you here today.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm delighted to be here. And it is my intention that whatever happens in our time together, it does really help other people that are watching. I
That's
really hope they get something. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and share a little bit more about you. So throughout Fawn's 40-year career, so she's been, it done has a little experience. Her clients have included high-achieving executives, celebrities, and wellness leaders who demand results. They come to her, demand them. They come to her because conventional therapy and standard body work have failed them. They leave the complete energy. They leave with complete energetic recalibration, restored vitality, and access to their innate healing powers. All of this occurred with the foundational mentoring she received 15 years ago from Dr. Milton Trager, MD, which gave her a vast knowledge base. Fawn has expanded her practice to include sharing her advanced protocols through an exclusive program designed to assist high-level holistic healers and bringing their healing to a whole new quantum level of effectiveness. So you're going to want to hear about the incredible things that she can do for our clients and how you can take your skills to the next level. So, Fawn, it sounds absolutely fascinating. This is why I wanted you on the show. You do great work. You've got great things you're sharing right now to help holistic healers, etc. And I just get the sense that there's this next level of your business is ready to happen after having very successful practice for a long time. But now like you're sort of, it feels like you're sort of reinventing yourself a little bit with how you're doing it. And it feels like there's a whole nother level that's possible, at least with what you're doing. So tell us about a little bit about, before we get too far afield, a little bit more about the journey into doing this work and how you got to where you are today.
Right. So, the journey into it is that I literally met my mentor, Dr. Trager, when we were both living in Hawaii. I was teaching scuba diving at the time and watched him give a demonstration of what came through him. He was 73 at the time and looked like a 5-year-old. He was so lit up. And I said, that's what I want to do. And it turned out that the institute is actually in the Bay Area, which is where I was from, California, Silicon Valley. And so I moved back there to get my accreditation. They moved over, and I got to have the next 15 years in this apprenticeship with my mentor, Dr. Trager. So essentially, for me, I put the shingle out in Silicon Valley, bringing the aloha spirit with me through this work of the Traeger approach. And of course, nobody knew what that was, which actually did serve me because um, it because of the results I was getting, it didn't matter if people didn't know what it was.
Right.
Right? They were telling their other people. So I did have a full-time practice for 30 some years in Silicon Valley doing that,
Wow.
specifically Traeger approach.
Wow. So, yeah, I could get into a whole thing about that. I'm like, what's so unique about it? There's so many modalities out there and everything. And what are some of the things that make it different?
Wow.
Without
Uh,
getting too technical
yeah,
now, but just
I
a
mean,
broad stroke.
right. Well, first of all, let's get real. This was, 1980, right?
Mhm.
And so it was, I mean, he was discovered through Esalen. I mean, it was like the Traeger approach was the up and coming modality. And the reason it's different is that Dr. Traeger himself was amazingly humble. It wasn't about him. It was about what had come through him as a 15-year-old on the Miami beach doing acrobats with his brother, and then working on people that had polio there on the beach and getting this amazing results. So as when I talk about being an apprentice and a mentor, it was truly mentorship. It was truly a transmission, and
Mhm.
he had become a medical doctor. So the understanding of anatomy, physiology, all the meridian points, everything that how our body is designed was involved. But the whole time it was always accessing what, we could call source, superconscious. He called it the subconscious mind, and it came through him, through his hands, to the person's tissues, to their mind. And it is delightful. It's based on pleasure. It's based on the way we're really designed. So there's a movement, there's that touch, touch is really powerful. But what made it different, I think, is for me, is it's allowed what I had studied in the ancient scriptures, of understanding consciousness to be
Mhm.
coming through in a way and really reaching people where the holding patterns were being held, right? And not so much, and then change those patterns, but more remember that this is a whole being with a consciousness, and that by bringing in that container and that remembrance and the joy of being the whole, right? That the holding patterns then release, let go, no longer need to be there. So that's what made it special for me. It was what an honor, really, for all those years to see so many people's lives change because of this work influencing them. Yeah,
Oh,
I,
yeah,
I feel pretty fortunate.
that's really interesting because I mean, the way I hear it being described, it sounds like it's more about bringing, more of I'm simplifying it, okay? So excuse
Yep,
me, I don't
that's
understand it, because I haven't studied it, but like I'm going to say it this way, it sounds like it's more about having them connect with the wholeness they already are rather than approaching it in a way where okay, you're kind of broken right now, let's shift the energy, let's I don't know, you know what I mean, like it's
absolutely, yeah,
distinctly different right
that's
there,
the
right?
whole point. And as you say, that's accessing that, and there are wonderful modalities out there, and you're one of them, right? That knows how to access that,
Hmm.
and that's what is bringing our consciousness and awareness forward now on the planet.
Hmm.
And this was through the body, right? So the physical body was included in that accessing. So people literally, you know, um, got off the table, done doing the movements, and they look 20 years younger physically, because physically they're not holding the weight anymore, the tensions. So
Hmm.
for me, I think that was really a draw, right? Is that I
Hmm.
really enjoyed that we are in a physical body. And it does have this really great design to always be going for optimal functioning, to always be going for its healing. And it's fun to play in that.
Yeah. I mean, for some of us, I suppose the body gets to be inconvenient. Damn, I gotta take care of my body and I gotta try and drag this body around with me. And so I could see, yeah, I could see that this is a way of like reconnecting to the body as well, it would sound like, to really honor your body, reconnect, recognize the wholeness you are on a physical level, not just a spiritual level, like, oh, we're the all, therefore I'm fine. And but also that, but also like you're like coming into wholeness within your body, directly too.
Yeah, it's bringing it in groundedness, right? In
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. So yeah, you work with a few people over 40 years. So I mean, it's probably endless stories you could tell us of different results that you've seen in your practice. You said brick and mortar, you said there in one of your messages to me before. And so people would come in and work with you in person because it does involve a physical dimension, right? So tell us a little bit about the type of results you would see, like just some examples, like knowing that there's so many different ones, but like what are some of the ones you like to talk about the most, like where people seem like they couldn't get any further, they went to so many practitioners and then they worked with
Mm.
this method and with you and then they got a breakthrough.
Wow. Yeah, I'm trying to like my files, like what can I bring to the because it's not that when you say I like to talk about most, I don't really talk about my clients that much, right? So, but two are coming to mind, three are coming to mind. Let's start with
Okay.
um that I had referrals. I had three medical doctors who became my clients, literally my clients. And um, why they trusted me and what they got from working with me, you know, was that their training to be so proficient in the ways that they were in the medical model
Hmm.
tweaked them as a person. Right? They're like there was parts of them that had to get short circuited, that had to be not, that were put on the side to do get their training and to become. And now here they are in their mid 30s, early 40s with a successful medical practice. And, they want to feel happier. And they did in working with me, and, that was one that comes to my mind. Another, client, has her horses, and the one horse really was not in a great place and threw her off, and she shattered her collarbone in 3 places. And the doctors immediately wanted to go in to do the surgery and place the plates or whatever. And instead, she decided, let's see what we could do in a couple of days, Fawn. And the third session, she came in and all the swelling was down, everything was reset, it was completely calm. So that we had let the bones mend, literally.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
Wow.
another, yeah. I mean, it kind of goes on and on like that. It's, I had a client that had been struck by lightning, and that and it really had affected her in her way of operating in the world, just on so many levels. You can imagine her nervous system was just on hyper alert all the time. And within a couple of months, really working together, she had completely released all of that incongruency within her nervous system. And really was able to go back to a highly functioning life joyfully. So it was like that, right? It's
Yeah, lots of different ones. Yeah.
yeah, and it's becoming who you're really meant to become when there was something in the way of that, right? Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, that's really phenomenal. That is interesting that the medical doctors simply by entering into that system started fragmenting them, and there's so many things like that for all of us. There's so many
Yeah.
different paradigms and things we're stepping into. All right, we gotta do it this thing now. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to be fragmented for that then. I mean, it is kind of sad and funny to think about. I mean, yeah, like we got to be something different then in order for this to fully
Well,
work. We
I mean,
taught.
it's yeah, yeah, and specifically, medical doctors, I mean, their
Mhm.
training consists of those, what are they, 20-hour days back to back kind of thing, over and over. That makes you put a lot of who you are to the side.
Right. That
Right.
alone, yeah. So let's talk about then like you've got all these wonderful things you've done. So this is so I imagine that after all these results, I mean for me with energy scanning, I teach is I like okay, I can do this, but other people can too, right? So to me, I was like, all right, I'm not the only one that can do this. Obviously, you learned from Dr. Trager, so yeah, obviously you weren't the only one that could do it either. So, so what? So you're right now you're wanting to help holistic healers. It sounds like high level holistic healers. Tell us more about your desire of helping them in exactly what way.
Right. Well, so the transition happened, Daniel. I mean, in what way? So here, I'll just go to, okay, this is bottom line. What I want to do, I mean, I'm at a point where it's time for me to be passing on how to get there much more efficiently and powerfully, because I mean that I really am feeling how our consciousness is unfolding here on the planet, right? And I'm contributing to that. So what I'm calling it is this really streamlined, but it's a practice way to be accessing your natural euphoria so
Mhm.
that you are in that connection as often as you want, right? I mean, it because as we know, it's always accessible. It is who we are.
Right.
And this game that we've been playing in this life is we keep forgetting, right? And then we have to be reminded, and that's been the game, and that's okay. And it's time for us to be mastering this more and not forgetting as often and having it, because as we're facing what's happening, we need to be facing it, but in that connection with our natural euphoria. I mean, that's what I'm calling it, because that's my experience of
Mhm. Mhm.
that it's a kinesthetic, energetic essence.
Mhm.
It's our soul, and it's deep, but there's this uh, euphoric feeling of who we really are. Do
Right.
you feel that with yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Right?
mean, do I feel 24/7? No, because I've chosen not to, like you said. I've chosen to experience of, oh, things aren't so good right now.
Well,
And there's always an awareness, for me, like, okay, you're just playing this game with yourself. I always have the awareness still is always around, like it's always there. It's like, oh, this is an interesting experience. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I could just, I am one of those people. I could just go look at a flower all day. I'd be perfectly happy. There's nothing to concern yourself with, right? Just, like,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And taking that what you're saying, just looking at a flower all day, that you're so absorbed in it.
Mhm.
That's the feeling, that's the connection that we can bring
Yes.
to what we're doing and how we're helping others.
what is kind of sad is that for some people, maybe not as many people that are listening here, but like some of the people here too, though. I mean, doing something like that is almost in itself threatening. Like, oh my God, I'm just sitting here staring at a flower. Oh my
Oh,
God, what does
yeah.
that mean? Like,
No, you're right, right. No, yes, and that's my point is literally, actually, we don't want to stare at a flower all day. I
right,
mean,
right, right, right,
that we didn't come here to just do that.
right,
But
exactly,
it's such a great illustration of the feeling. I'm
right,
talking about this feeling. That's what I mean by its
exactly.
natural euphoria. It's our essence. It doesn't need a flower to look at.
Right, exactly. Could be anything. That's why I've been talking about too through the years. It's like my daughter's in Italy. She's sending us all these pictures. I'm like, and it is amazing. And yet everything's just as amazing. It's just our mind that makes it different, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's more amazing there. And it's not any more amazing. It's amazing everywhere, right? So
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
really interesting
And
how we
it's
kind
lovely
of,
to enjoy the amazingness as long as we're also remembering that we're amazing. I mean, that's the part,
yeah,
right?
right, right, right. So,
Okay, so you kind of asked me what I want to be doing
yes,
now,
yes, yes.
and I kind of went that
Okay.
way. And I had this transition where I was actually teaching for a spiritual coaching school, helping practitioners build their business, mostly as coaches, as spiritual
Mhm,
coaches, right? Then this was way back in the beginning of coaching days.
mhm,
And I did it for 7 years, and I did it because it was what I had done, right? And so I was
mhm.
teaching what I knew.
Uh-huh.
Although it was in a school that wasn't mine, so I had to be teaching their protocol, and which was fine to a point.
Right.
And then it just evolved, right? And I went into what it is that I need to be bringing as my specific gift, my way, right?
Mhm,
And then I really kind of went into this where I was in the coaching world, and I wasn't feeling an integrity. I wasn't feeling like I was in integrity in like an industry that was in integrity. And I literally uh, pulled myself out of it. Yeah. And then in these past years, it's been this very internal staying with what's really is mine to bring forward. W- and and it's also interesting because I can't not bring it forward. You know, I
right.
can't not be relaunching in a way that's helping me really help others have this for themselves. It's like I can't stop that. So I've had to just stay really true to it. And that's been a journey, going through my own, like with through the lockdown for me, I was like, feeling all this courage and strength and peace and bringing it forward. And then 2 years out, got this, kind of major health diagnoses that, all of a sudden I'm thrust in the medical world. And
Mm,
you're right. It was about a 3-year journey that
mm,
m- really my soul just made sure I got the lessons came here to get around that. And
mm.
so as I've come out of that, there's like this level of humbleness and um, the word that coming is grit of staying with the soul alignment and the truth. And how do I do that now? Right. And what does
Mhm.
it look like? And so it's a daily, um, yeah, it's a daily discipline for me as I've been moving into this. So
Yeah.
am I answering your question?
Yeah, we're getting there. Absolutely. What I love to know, because that I could dive right into that, but I want to know more about. So it sounds like you want to teach the healing
Oh,
part, right, to healers, right? Is that what you want to share?
yeah, thank you for thank okay, so yeah, I always gloss over this, right? That so my mentor, Dr. Trager, after a few years apprenticing with him, he gave me this full transmission and said, "You are ready to teach. You can
Mhm.
teach."
Mhm.
And I received it and
Mhm.
went back to the organization and those that were running it, and they shut it down.
Oh boy.
And the truth was, and I did not, I was young and I didn't have the skill sets of understanding. But the truth was, I was bringing them all the business. And
Yeah.
they didn't want to put me in the position where I would be taking their instructorship away, essentially,
Right.
right? Okay, so grew through that. I mean, that was very painful, if you can imagine, many years.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so but I did come to peace with what the relationship was, and Dr. Traeger did pass, and but I'm a natural teacher, right? So people were still coming to me to learn, just not officially.
Mhm.
And then when the pandemic happened, the lockdown, the organization went on Zoom, and all of a sudden, I am now connecting with other people I knew at that time with Dr. Traeger that were all over the world, Switzerland, Florida, and they'd been doing what I'd been doing. And they told me, you know, become an instructor now. You can do it. We'll get you through it. So I literally took a step back and went into the organizational hurdles of what they asked for, and I became a Traeger instructor, which I am now. But the reason I bring that up is just because it was like it really was going backwards in so many ways, and being hazed. You have to go through. Are they going to accept me in their group? And
Yeah.
that experience, and it was during the pandemic, coming out of it, during my physical health challenges, coming out of that, and and kind of coming out the other end of it and saying, okay, now what does this look like for me, right? And that's kind of like, here I am. This is where I am now.
Mhm. I get it. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Well, that this is now the case, right? It's like, all right, game on now. We've got this thing ready to roll in terms of being able to fully do it, right? Like in a full way. Um, so so if I said, listen, this is all sounds very fascinating. What would you do? And let's say I knew more about it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm convinced this is what I want to learn to do. And how does it work? Do you privately just mentor somebody, and or is there a group program? Is it one-to-one mentoring process? How does it work?
Right. So right now there's a couple of ways. I mean, there is a full certification program
Mm,
that has its in-person trainings that's very intensive field work between the trainings, and out of it you become a certified Traeger practitioner. So
mhm,
there's that. But we're being called to do is to be offering more of this virtual soul tribe where we're come together and we're learning the real principles and the basic steps. So there's some real things to learn as far as skill sets and energetics and mindsets, and we put that together. So
right,
it's a school, it's a that I'm calling a soul tribe, because I you have to be called. You're gonna be, you're called to let yourself become this powerful vessel in this way.
Okay, so there are two levels. So if they really want to get certified, that's a whole nother ball game, though, right? This is like could almost be like an entryway into certification for some people. Some people, this is how far they would go. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So so they could utilize some of the cool stuff from the system by being a part of this virtual soul
Right.
tribe, right? But to really fully get into the depth of it, you would have to do the certification. Or is that not right? Yeah, I'm trying to distinguish it.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to call yourself a certified Traeger practitioner,
Ah,
you have
hmm.
to go through
I
that
got it. I got it.
in-person and fieldwork training
Got
certification
it.
process.
That clarifies it. Okay.
Right. And yeah. So really, honestly, I'm interested in working with people that are already have some level of mastery with what they're doing in their own modalities, and
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily that we have to change the modality, but that they're really learning these principles, that
Mm-hmm.
how you apply them, how you live with them, how you practice them, so that your repertoire has broadened exceptionally, as well as your effectiveness, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the key.
Yeah. Okay, great. That's fantastic. Um, and so so is this virtual soul tribe that you're offering, is this something you've created, or is this like something that the overall organization has created?
Right. This is Fawn Christianson's own unique offer.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. All right. And can you tell me like so if I wanted to join this thing, I want to say, is it a number of months? Is it month to month? Is it a year? Like tell me more about like what's involved.
Right. So honestly, Daniel, it's in that process right now of
Okay. Okay.
getting
Cool.
created. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
I'd love to give you the whole, this is the 1, 2, 3 and be so
Right.
effective with that. And
Right.
the truth is, I I'm starting out by it's really a 3 month come together. It's and we're gonna be creating what makes sense to continue, in the continuation.
I
That's
see.
really
Good.
where I'm at, yeah.
Well, nice, nice. Well, that's not a bad way to do it, right? Let's see what it is. We can crystallize it from there. That's what it sounds like. So that's fun. Okay. I like that. Um, so what is your and then I'll share the downloads I get as we go along, but what's your approach in terms of you've met, I mean, right away to me it's like a no-brainer. You've probably met tons of holistic practitioners over the years, right? So I would think, or at least some, and so you have that already as a network and possible clients and whatnot. So, but I'm curious, what is your thought about it and approach to gaining clients?
Right. So, um, where I'm at is because I moved out of Silicon Valley, right?
Mhm.
When my husband retired, we thought it made sense to move to Central
Mhm.
Coast, California, because it is so beautiful and
Mhm.
it's not as dense as Silicon Valley,
Yeah.
population wise. I did not realize that I'd be giving up my network that I had,
Mhm.
so that I just lived in, right? And that was, so that's kind of been so I've had to like kind of rebuild it, rekindle. I'm
Mhm.
still around. So I do have personal relationships, and of course, that's a place to start. Um, and that's about as far as I've gotten.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love it. I love it. So yeah, let me just use the scanning. This is where the scanning comes in handy, where I can just look in your energy and just get the downloads of getting about it. One of the things that struck my attention, I'll comment on too before I get too deep into it, is just the fact that you said, there's a lot of things you felt were out of integrity, like with the coaching industry and whatnot. And I talk about that stuff a lot here on this podcast about these people and their millions, and then you find out they're a mess, hot mess in their life, and their business is actually a hot mess too. And they might be on fumes financially, but they're touting success on the outside. I mean, so it's really wild. It's a wild scenario, and I think somehow, again, in the fragmentation aspect of entering into this, given who you are in your approach to life and who you
Right.
are, it's like it's like right? It's just kind of a weird thing to be doing, watching these other people the way they do it. It's like, well, what's my way then? That's how it
Yeah,
occurs to me,
exactly.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Right. I mean, exactly. I mean, and I like the word fragmentation. I mean, it's like
Mhm.
I can't live that. I don't operate that way. I can't. I can't. So I can't do it.
Well, one of the things you can't do either, Fawn, is you can't go out there and market and say, "Listen, your whole system is
Right.
broken."
Right.
Or something like those kind of
Exactly. Yeah.
things.
Yeah. And I can't be telling you all that's wrong with you because that you need it. Exactly. That's
I'll
right.
get you with the pain. Come on in.
Let me impose fear and scare tactics on you. That'll do it.
You'll never amount to anything until you can take these skills to the next level, kind of thing. So it's just, yeah, it is laughable. I mean, I think you could say, do you ever wonder if there's another level you could take your work though? Like what I find is work, because there are especially like holistic type of people, sensitive type of, they're not so, a lot of them aren't too good with the negative marketing and the negative polls and stuff anyway. Like they'll just shut down, just be like, oh, whatever. Like, so I think the people you're looking to draw in would do better for you just to it's just like a pinpoint, like something they wish more for, right? And you poke at the like there may be a little pain there, but you don't have to go crazy. Like, yeah, hers doesn't. Like, it's more like, yeah, you wonder. It gets frustrating sometimes. Maybe you're trying to help a client, and you would think it should work. It's worked for others, and then this time it doesn't work. And would you like to see less of that happening? Be more effective in your. See, we just pointed to a pain point, but it's not anything drastic, right? It's
Right, sure,
yeah,
of
things
course.
like that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's just
Yeah,
educational,
and
right?
there's
I mean, mhm,
another, real aspect that I offer is, the longevity of being able to do it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so a lot of people that are out there with a practice in their 30s and,
Mhm.
heading towards 40 are realizing if they're not gonna last doing what they're doing. And,
Yeah.
um, I mean, as again, I met Dr. Trager when he was 73, and he was actively teaching up till his passing at 88. So this, this is a way to be engaging and uplifting others for as long as you want.
Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free meditate, make money meditation today. It's a way of being, right? I mean, yeah, totally,
Exactly.
totally. I love that. So, yeah, it's pretty deep. I mean, I would think you would do well. I mean, people would need, not need, but would, I mean, it would work really well if people just were to get some kind of experience, right, of the work. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
because because people that would be good for it will notice the difference right away. They'll just be like, "This is different," right? Like they'll just notice.
That look,
They
I've seen that look a lot.
yeah, right. Right. So that's what I'm getting intuitively on the intuitive biz coach or whatever part. But like I'm just getting, they'll notice it right away. So honestly, just offering low price or even maybe some free or whatever, but like just offering low price free events for people. You could do it, anywhere on LinkedIn or whatever, like all these different ways we can reach out to people. And if it's not your thing, like it's just like, man, I don't have to deal with that. You can find somebody, you can find VAs or whatever. You can find
Right.
people that like
Yeah.
doing that stuff. Yeah, oh, I'll make the invites. I'll do all that, right? So I would recommend that because there's a velocity to connecting with people that would happen that's not going to happen if you do it. You, because I mean that's even true for me as someone that's less shy about reaching out to people, as you probably noticed. I reached out to you, but you kind of, it was kind of mutual a little bit, but like I mostly reached out to you recently about this opportunity. But it's like yeah, but it's like I'm selective in who I'm going to reach out to, and that's good to a point, but maybe I'm too selective and I'm a little too hesitant, right? Whereas somebody, this is their job. Oh, okay, let's connect with more people. Then you can vet if you needed a vet, but if it's just an event that you want people to come to. So I guess the question would be is if this is more of a, because you said high level, holistic healers. So you're going to let them self-qualify to come to maybe what we call an activating event, meaning you come in, you pay X to get this experience, and that's it. And then you could put in your bullet points. We're going to talk about like how you could take this further, right? And how you could learn how to do it. And if they wanted to experience more of it, they could in that way, right? Because they're going to learn. That's how all these systems are. You come in, you get more of it, and you learn how to do it, and it's amazing. So that would be the perfect way to get it started. And yeah, there's millions of ideas I could come up with for helping you to pull it off. But I think the biggest question I have is how do they need to be vetted, I guess, like to even come into the first level? I wouldn't think too much, right? But is there a vetting process at any point or not? Or is it they self-select based on who you say it's for?
Right. I mean, um, I know when I had my coaching practice, I had a really great vetting process, right? And I've kind of like dropped that. I mean, I haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
Um, and, but what I'm resonating with what you're saying is about letting the event, the qualify themselves in a way, right?
Right.
That because as you're talking, it's like I realize, all these years, the groups that I have taught, I love doing it, right?
Mhm.
And there's, for whatever reason, and I don't know the reason, right? That when I then go into presenting in a larger unknown group, I all there that there's something in me that doesn't feel grounded anymore,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I can appreciate where my real genius zone is,
Mhm.
but I don't know if that's something to be addressing, right? That about how when if it's a large group, if I don't know, I mean, I have presented in a group of that 3,000 people, right? So
Mhm. Uh-huh.
I'm okay as long as I feel the audience wants to hear what I have to share.
Right. Right.
So
Right. Right.
that's what comes up as you were
Right.
saying, you know?
Right, because I definitely feel like there's, groups that you could go speak to
Right,
and share
sure,
this with big time that are already set, groups that
exactly.
meet on a regular basis for energy shares with what they do maybe. And it just has to be where whoever, whatever group it is, they don't see as like competition, like, oh, this is competition to what we do. So then, for example, well, it wouldn't necessarily be competition is if you got a group of acupuncturists getting together for something, right? I mean, for education or something, like wherever it would be non-competing. If it's a modality where they got levels and stuff, they might say, oh, they're going to go to her then, like that wouldn't be a good fit. So, but there are definitely a lot of circles of people like, yeah, we do our Reiki share or whatever, like Reiki share circles and whatever. There's tons of stuff like that, I would imagine, where you are even in person too,
Right, right.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any lack of people to reach out to, and just yeah, and then okay, so where I sense um, how did were people usually referred to you and then they would work with you as a client? Is that how it worked when you had your private practice, or was that the main way?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I would recommend that for this too. Like the level of referrals would be huge. So in other
Mm.
words, you wouldn't have to find tons of opportunities all the time necessarily because you would just constantly be getting referrals. Like, hey, do you know more groups like this? Hey, do you know more people that might be interested in it? You just keep asking. And I think you're really good at doing that. Like, I think you're really good at asking. I think people would be really like keen to give to you. So I think that would be a perfect way for you to do it. Because I think like when you're connecting with source, the way I see it when I go to your chakra is like there is something in there where the intellect and the mind starts whirling and purring with things sometimes. And it's like, I don't know. Like it's what I'm hearing in there. Like, tell me more. I don't get this.
Good
And
enough, buddy. It cracks me up.
yeah, yeah. So I just noticed that. So, but in the moment when when things are in the flow, like anybody else, but like you really get into a flow, everything's crystal clear. Of course, this, of course, that, of course. This. So for you, like finding yourself creating everything with marketing and sales with flow is going to be huge. I mean, it's can't be an intellectual pursuit or you're going to it's never going to work. Can't be like some people could, they're like, oh, yeah, I'll start a Facebook group. I'll do this. I'll do, like it's all like strategy and logic and they get their energy. They can't get their energy behind. For you, it's almost like it's got to have structure, but a little bit for sure. But you have to come from more that ooh, it kind of just dropped in. Let's do this. Like you're more that person for sure. And so I think it's easy though, because we're all human, like to judge yourself for that. Like, why am I not more like because you can be very organized with other things, right? Like,
Right.
but with this, you can't do it that way. You can't it'll develop, the structure will end up developing anyway, but I'm saying like to try to go there to create it, forget about it for you
Right.
extra. And so I think as long as you could, because I see that crown chakra opening when I say it that way, it's just like, oh yeah, it'll work that way, right? And then I think there might be concerns about maybe how you're perceived. Like, what if people are like, well, I don't know if this is that great. I think mine's better, or what? I don't know. Some of these things may come up. I can feel that in your energy, maybe in the third eye or something like that. Okay, I just like describe it the way it shows up. So it's just like, listen, I'm great. Have at it. Like just like, and you're probably pretty good at that, but like the there might be a little avoidance in the energy right now
Hmm.
around that visibility and being a leader in this way. So I think that's probably like a deeper metaphysical reason why maybe this process took a long time too. Like it's all connected, it's all one, right? So, but now like I think like once you get warmed up and get it going, I think it's still a factor. It's something you want to do, definitely be addressing, however you like to address those things. But like that would be something of, again, guys, theoretically, if I was working with Fawn or any of you, like I'm like, oh, keep on that one way or another. Like for me, some of it's just attention, putting attention to it. Like I'm like,
Right.
okay, let that one go. You're good. Like I'm just telepathically, right? And other times it might be a process, right? That I take someone through, or it's just like they just kind of get over it, right? So, so I see that for you, and then, but yeah, speaking I think would be huge. Just the speaking's going to be big, big. I get big energy around speaking and stages, and that you really enjoy it, and it has to, I mean, you might consider at least at some point getting somebody that helps you get booked and the appropriate stages and get like 50-50. That may not be now, but I'm just getting eventually to manage that. In fact, I might be able to, if you really wanted to dive deep into that, I'm sure there's people in my network that could fit that bill. I know there are, but so what else is coming up
Oh,
right
yeah,
now?
why would I want to wait?
I don't know.
To have somebody
Maybe
work.
there isn't. I was just kind of getting.
Uh-huh. Just curious.
I was getting. You may end up waiting. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe if you have the right fit, we wouldn't need to wait. Oh, yeah, yeah. So I'm feeling better about that. That's there. There is something around, then when I get to the receiving of the money, you've done well in your practice. Um, and so there is something about receiving money at this next level that I would anticipate. So going to the same exact level you've been at it before, because we privately talked about this just a bit, it's like I just don't get like you'd be like, yeah, no, I want to go beyond that, right? So I want to be ultimately, I feel like you'd want to go beyond where you've been in the past. And so there's something about this whole energy fractal making money in this way that just doesn't quite resonate, yet. It's more like I just want to have this joyful fun of doing it. And that's the vibe I get with it. And so um getting more,
I'm not
more
understanding the vibe that
yes,
I'm.
yes,
I
yes.
I didn't quite understand that,
Sure, sure,
but
sure.
yeah.
Sure. So I mean, the sales stuff, there's something with sales with this that there seems to be a heaviness. I'm picking up on the sales aspect.
Yeah, I mean, what's the heaviness? What? No, I mean,
Yeah,
it
no,
really is like
it
I
is.
almost feel it like I totally understand what you're now meant talking
Mhm.
about,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like,
Mhm.
where the fuck does this come from? Excuse my language, but it's this like, because it's not previously in many situations that was not there, but
Yeah.
it is here now about,
Mhm.
like to have
Right.
my unique offering, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
it's, I mean, because I've been in business my whole career. So
Right.
I actually don't mind sale. I mean, I've
Right.
really enjoyed the connection about what in those kinds of conversations.
Mhm. Mhm.
But with where I'm coming from now, there's like this, there is a heaviness, and
So
is
what
it,
I'm getting around that is my sense, okay, and then we could verify or not, but okay, first of all, what you've been sharing with people, obviously, yes, it involved you, obviously, but I mean, you are coming from a system, though. Okay, we do this system,
yeah,
and so you had such faith in that that you had no problem. You could sell that up night and day, right?
yeah.
But like now, it's like, yeah, it's a system, but it's my thing, and like so now it's like more like, am I for real with this or not? Like, there's something going on with that. And so then we would look at, of course, I do anyway. I do look at this stuff from the past. So I get something about, like, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna not measure up, like something about not measuring up or something like that came in clearer before. But as I keep talking, like I'm like, what would it was like that though. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna just be seen as like I'm not for real or not right for this or something. It doesn't logically make sense, but it's just a feeling I get. And so it's always usually again like could be a childhood thing or whatever. I could look deeper into it, but it's like something, usually earlier in life, and maybe it's multiple times where you're put on the spot or something, and it's like, come on, you're smart, Fawn. We thought you could do this. And then you're like, what? I don't know what I'm doing, or something like that. It
You
could be
know, well,
scenario.
yeah, no, I'm actually totally getting it as you're talking.
Okay. Okay.
And that, it's all the dynamic with my father. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Yes.
Who did not have a great self-esteem, right? But would push me.
Mhm.
And when he would push me, I could perform, right? I
Mhm. Mhm.
could perform, but
Mhm.
I would feel that I lost contact with myself.
Mhm.
That's what I'm getting. It's like, it
Mhm.
wasn't that I couldn't, I didn't, but that you're saying about that where I'm questioning, does this look real? Are they going to think it's that my comfort with other systems, and this is
Mhm.
my own system. Can I trust my own system?
Right.
And it's because what's so important to me is staying connected with my own self
Right.
in the system. Yeah,
Right, right.
that's
And that would be the key then is to stay. That's, I think, where staying in the moment is going to be so important to how you roll this out. Otherwise, you'll feel like a deer in headlights potentially. Like, I don't know what's going on. What am I doing with all this? Something like that can show could
Yeah,
possibly show
yeah,
up.
yeah,
And
yeah. No, that's,
whereas
I mean,
otherwise, yeah, if you stay in
yeah,
the
no,
moment,
it's staying
like
in the moment.
it's just
That's the key.
it's totally
Well,
yeah.
yeah, that I
Yeah.
can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that would be a big key. And if there's too much stickiness potentially around that stuff from your dad still, then that could be always cleaned up more.
Yeah, you're right. One would hope it's getting better
It's all
by
good. It's
now.
takes to a lifetime sometimes, right? But it's okay if it were still a factor. But yeah, I think that it's not I think that if there's more work to be done there, that you could do that and you could get through it pretty quickly. Okay, so that's what's coming up around that. Um, and then I would hope, with a container like this, that, we're talking about, you know, um, charging, I don't know, is it going to be charging thousands or hundreds or, this is kind of my last area of inquiry. I've got to have an idea of what you're valuing this amazing stuff at, just to get a clue and yeah.
Right. So, uh, for okay, let's go. Yeah, I would say, a few thousand. Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna keep it valuable, but accessible,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And then, and do you make money if they go on to certification? Do you get like a commission or something or some kind of, are you doing the certification
Yeah,
yourself?
I'm doing the certification, so I
Okay.
get, yeah, I
So you
do
get the full
get
deal
paid
then of
for the
what that would
training.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's whatever that is, if it's probably a five-figure investment is my guess, right? So, um, okay. Um, so so good. So that's a nice business model. That'll definitely get you to your goals. Like you'll get there. You could get there pretty fast, I think. And then yeah, and then beyond. So good. I mean, that's it, folks. That's it, folks. Okay. Yeah, I think you're on, we're getting you on track. The idea during the show is not to solve every single question or what, what I mean, answer every question or whatever. It's to show like in a quick period of time by just discussing these things, like we can start to feel an energetic headway coming up, right? And start to have this inner breakthrough happening with it and have an idea orientation for the mind. Yes, that would work. I could focus there, right? And get all the energy going that direction. And then the rest is, yeah, and the actioning it out, continuing to process what came through. Like, yes, I need to embody my teaching fully in the way I roll this out too, right? And just keeping that in mind, because we've been so conditioned, like, no, the marketing's different. You gotta do it this way. It's like like we've been bamboozled, and it's like, no, I talk about meditating and making money and everything, and like we can. I mean, most of us as healer types, like that's the way we're meant to be doing it. Probably for most of
Right.
all of us anyway. Like we're meant to spend more time. Some people are very mental, right? Like, okay, I need to think this through, and maybe it's kind of true for some people, but a lot of us know we need to come from the download more, and then everything's way more effective. So, anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you, Fawn. And
Daniel, it's really been helpful. I really do feel like I know what to focus on now and I can bring my energy there. And I feel very validated and, recognized in how I stay in my power and grace. And I'm delighted, really, in our time together. This has given me a lot of clarity and my heart feels happy. So thank you.
that's fantastic. And so, yeah, as we're wrapping up, everybody, I wanted you to learn more about how you could follow up with Fawn because you might be like, this sounds really cool. I'd love to learn more about it and connect more with Fawn. I know you had a gift to share with everybody today. Do you want to share more about what you'd like them to check out if they want to?
Yeah, I would love to be offering to be giving this. It's a journal with two practices in accessing your natural euphoria. So I'm giving you some prompts, some really what I think are questions that can really help you move into how to be accessing that and staying with it. And a couple of really good practices to use that hope that you can just start using in your daily life. So the idea is that it's effective and that you actually will just start using these, right? So
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
It's your
fantastic.
journal to access natural euphoria.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so we'll put the link in the show notes below for y'all to experience that. And who wouldn't want more of that, right? So go ahead and take advantage, right? And everybody, also, I just wanted to let you know that yes, you can get an energy scan with me as well. You could always apply to be on the show, but I also offer sessions that you can find on my website. So you can just go to yoursacredpurpose.com and take advantage of that. So just look at my Energy Scan Consultation tab, and um, you'll get at least as much as she got because like I'll be spending even more time with you, helping you with your business. So yeah, so I look forward to that for those that want to do that. Also, because I am a big believer, we're on the same page, me and Fawn, on the meditation and stuff. Is I have a meditate and make money free meditation gift, so you can check that out at my website as well, and that'll help you get connected and just receive that coding that you can trust the infinite source to provide in your guides to share things with you, and it does connect and it will work, as long as you just keep listening, right? So check that out at yoursacredpurpose.com. All
Mhm.
right, so I think that's about it. I really am excited about what you're doing, Fawn. I really am looking forward to seeing this coming out into the world, and it's extremely, you know, needed right now for people to come out and to get into the state of consciousness that you share in this way of being. So thank you so much for what you're doing, and I appreciate you coming on today.
Well, thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, and thank you to all our listeners. Keep on tuning in. We'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time.
For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.